Today I'm sharing a simple floral card that features some coordinated stamps, dies, and stencils, and I think they are delightful. Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and my studio. I've had this set for a few weeks now and it's been sitting in my to-do bin, and I'm excited to show you how it works because they're big, bold flowers, and if you don't love coloring by hand, that, my friends, is what stencils are for. So to see my card project, stick around. It's coming up next. Here's a look at the products I'm going to be creating with today, and this is the Simon Says Stamp Flower Power Stamps. And I love the big, bold stamps and the sweet greetings. It's very minimal and graphic, but that is a lot of area to color by hand, but lucky for me, there is a coordinating stencil that allows you to color in all of the things. So I also have the coordinating dies. I'll be stamping all of the images in Gina K Designs Black Onyx. And then I just pulled this collection of color from my Concord and Ninth inks because these are really nice pinks and yellows. And I am going to have the center flowers be pink, the big one, and then they're going to radiate out with the other colors. So let me get started by stamping my images. I've got a piece of Neenah Classic Crest Solar White. This is the 110 pound in my original size Misty with a grip mat, and that's holding my paper in place. All right, I am going to take my black Onyx and ink these up really well and stamp them down onto the cardstock. Use my little Stampin' Bug pressure tool, add a little pressure, see how they look. And I'll hit this with another round of ink for a great second impression. And again, I'm just going to pay a little attention to where it didn't quite stamp. That looks great. And now I will clean these up real quickly, and I will stamp two more of the small and the medium. I'll do that off camera, and then we'll get ready to blend. So I've got my other grip mat here, and I'm going to be doing some masking today, just using Post-it notes. So I've got my stencil pretty nicely lined up. As long as I protect the other images, that's kind of all I need to worry about here. And also this will help hold that stencil in place. That's a little close, and I can use these multiple times. And what I'm going to do is continue to work across the stencil with the various openings on it. I'm going to clean my stencil in between each ink color using some spray alcohol and a cloth. So I'm going to put on some music. You'll see all the colors I'm using, and we'll get started with our blending. So I've been cleaning my stencils off in between each color with a little spray alcohol. I just have some 70% isopropyl alcohol in here, and it's really nice for cleaning stencils. It gets the color off pretty well, but more importantly, it dries immediately so you can keep going back to your piece. I just had an idea to make this more complicated, but I kind of think it would be fun. I think I'm going to add a pattern, and I just grabbed this from my new product inbox. I think I'm going to try to put, well, but that's not really small enough. I wonder if I have a smaller dot pattern. I don't think that I do, so I think I'm going to have to try to make this work. And I think what I'm going to do is Pigment Ink and Pouncing. Now, this could... You know, you never know, right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take some clean Post-its because we're going to be pouncing color that is pigment. Oh, come here now. I might not have enough. No, I do. I have enough. Okay, so what we're going to do is make sure this is nicely lined up. And we're going to pop that there. Okay. And we're going to do the same over here. I am almost out of these Post-its. I need to get some because they're just, the full adhesive ones are so nice. Order will be placed. Maybe I'll go to an office supply store. That would be exciting. Remember when that was exciting? Okay, so again, I don't know. We're going to try it. We're double stenciling. I'm going to show you one, and then I'll do the same thing off camera for the others, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get this placed so that there's a nice amount of dots, some coming in, some coming out like that. I am going to tape this down just so that it doesn't move. And we're not blending. We're going to pounce it in. And I don't think it's going to pick up the color, but we'll see. I have used this a few times. This is some white pigment ink from Gina K Designs. And I just think, let's see what it looks like to pounce in some light white color. Will it look good? We don't know, but we're pouncing to see. Holding it down, like that. Doesn't seem to be picking up any of that color. Of course, I'm going to have to let it dry, so I'm going to lift it up. Maybe I'll lift up one side first just to see. Okay, that's pretty cute. I'm going to isolate the others and do the exact same thing and then let this dry. So I cut all of these apart so that I could make templates because even though these are simple shapes, I find sometimes these bigger shapes can be hard to cut out and get lined up. So if I do the template method, right, where you take, you die cut it, you outline it, right, you tape it down into place, and then we'll just look. That looks pretty good, actually. I just used my same lightweight copy paper, and then I'm just going to go on all sides and kind of tape it down. And that way, technically, this should pop right inside the opening like a puzzle piece. Okay, you kind of feel it when it gets in there. Come on now. I want this to be. I want this to work because I put so much effort into it already, and it was supposed to be simple, and it is simple, sort of. Yeah, those are the famous last words. All right, let me cut this out, and we'll see how that looks. Let's put my magnetic plate on top, and then I will flip it. Oh, I took some samples on the back. All right, let's see. I don't have a strong feeling either way. Let's see how that looks. It's okay. Maybe I can do better on the others. I sound so defeated. Also, look at the pigment ink. It transfers, so just keep that in mind. I didn't wait long enough for it to dry. It takes time. I think I'm not even going to bother with the templates on the other ones because you know what? I'm terrible at templates. So I'll just do my best and I'll try to cut these out. Wish me luck. All right, because I seem to be having trouble lining up die cuts today, I thought I would try this, okay? I took the greeting that I'm going to use and cut it out of this cardstock. I'm just going to put a little sample piece in like that, maybe right there, okay? And I'm going to put this guy down here, and I'm going to figure out basically where my greeting is going to go, and that is the thinking of you, okay? Going to pick it up like that. Now, I'm going to just cut, I'm going to cut this like that, and a little bit off there, and a little there, so I have some motion, and I'm going to take my small ink cube of the black Onyx, ink it up like that, stamp it, and now I have the ability to frame this out. Oh, am I really doing this right? I think so. And this is where I need to take a little more off here and here. And once I get this perfectly framed like that. That looks really good, right? Top, bottom, side to side. I'm going to tape it down. I'm going to pop my greeting back in like this, right into that opening. And now ink this up. And I should be able to have a perfect impression that's lined up beautifully. Oh my gosh, I did it. I feel really smart right now. If I wanted to ink it again, I could, but that looks great. I'm going to cut a couple more layers of this die cut just to give this a little dimension. While I'm here, there's a second stencil in this pack, and you know what could be cute? And I'm reaching here. What if I dry embossed this into some white cardstock? Or you know what, let me get the dot one, because if I have a repeating theme, that makes more sense. Let me get some cardstock and get set up to dry emboss. So I have got a few things to share. I am going to use my Intercut today. And for this technique, I'm going to put it at letterpress 2D emboss. Okay. Let me get set up here. But I also wanted to show you something. When you are using an embossing mat, if your mat is covered with mucky muck, I do this with all of my embossing mats. I use a little lint roller to get the mucky muck off my mats. I do this off camera usually because my studio is really dusty and it gathers mucky muck, and so that's why I do it. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to try. We take our stencil needs to press into this paper, okay? We need to be able to press this in, and here's how I'm going to try to do it. I'm going to just keep it a little lined up like that. Matte paper stencil. No, that's the order. And then I am going to take my cutting plate and put it on top. I don't know if this will work. I have not tried it in this capacity. I want to make sure too that my tension is set to be just at the regular tension on the side, and we're going to see how this works. So the mat's in place. I kind of don't want it to slip, so I might put a little tape here because sometimes I know they can slip, and I kind of want to keep this pattern straight. So I'm going to put my plate on top, and let's see if it has enough tension to go through. I mean, it feels pretty good. It might not be enough tension. So I think what I'm going to do before we come back is change it. No, I don't think I can do it while the plates are in there. All right, we'll come back and see. I think we're going to need it to be a little tighter. So before we go through, I'm going to increase the tension to -3. That's going to give me a tighter fit. Oh yeah, that feels tighter. Although the mat shifted a little, we'll see. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to lift this up, and voila, I have that very subtle dry emboss. I actually think that's really cool. So that was number 2 -3. I think if I had gone, oh, I love that though. It's just, you can see the deboss side there. You can do this with any stencil. It's a really great way to stretch your supplies, but I think this will make a very subtle, pretty panel for my card. I'm going to trim this down just a little bit before I build the final card. I am going to put this on a white note card. Pull you down here just a little and get my score line in here nicely. Okay. And fold that in half. Press down with my Teflon bone folder. All right, I'm going to put some thin foam tape on the back of this panel so that it has a little separation from the background. That's the Simon Says Stamp Big Mama foam tape. It's a thinner loft. And also, I made my note card out of the Neenah Classic Crest Solar Weight 80 pound. I just felt like I had so much going on already that maybe I didn't need the heavier base, and I do that sometimes. And this is also, my embossed panel is also 80 pound. And I trimmed this panel to be 3 3/4 inch by 5. So now this has that nice little margin. And again, you see it as soon as it's tilted, right? As soon as it's not direct bright light. But I think that's kind of fun. Now, what I'm going to do is Thinking of You is going to go right in the center. I do want some foam on this, and I think I will use foam squares to do this arrangement. Oh gosh, 3 is really cute just like that. But that's not the plan. I want to do more. Let me get this one right in the center first, and I'm going to put this one with a thicker foam square. So here, I just want to have enough room so that the other pieces can fit in underneath. And I don't think I need to put liquid glue as I usually do on these squares, because all I want to do is have it right in the center and with the little shadow part kind of off to the side. So we'll go like that, right about there. Then I can take these friends and say, one will go there on a thinner foam square. Okay, so there's a little dimension coming here. I love foam squares for this very reason. That's why it's nice to have a couple different dimensions, because then you can have, you know, different levels, and it doesn't have to be super, super popped up. Now here, I think I will take, I think I will take a little liquid glue. And yes, I did stamp on the back because I messed something up, and so I flipped my cardstock over. I should have left that in the video, but I tell you, this card has taken far longer than I thought it would, but here we go. We're gonna pop you here, and then this little friend is gonna glue right to the base. So I don't need a lot of glue, just enough, right, to hold that in. I don't know why I'm not using my tweezers today, but just kind of having that vibe like that. And then these friends are going to be on top. So this basically just needs to have a foam square here like that so that it can have support. And then this one too will be over here. That's the arrangement. I think it's kind of fun. And again, big flowers, right? Easy coloring with stencils. I mean, you can make it more complicated. I mean, sometimes I feel like, yeah, sometimes I'm doing things that maybe are more complicated than they need to be, but I think that is cute. And then we're gonna say this little one, I'll try to show as much of the white as I can here because I just didn't cut those out all that great. So that, sure. And then this guy is going to go right down here. So we have a little repetition, right? We have the same design repeating several times on the panel. We have repeating colors, right? And we have black and white. And then we're going to put this right in the center. And then I'll add something shiny to this because I think it could use a little something, but just in more of a neutral shine. So probably my favorite, Sequins the Sparkle All the Way. Okay, we'll put that right in there. Smack dab in the center, and I will just hold that in place and let the glue adhere, and I will put my glass brick on it if I could find it. I think that looks really straight, doesn't it? Let's see. Yeah, that's good. And let me grab my sequins. So that's an odd number altogether, but I think that's a nice arrangement. So here we go. Let's boop it up. All right, little glue. Boop, boop, boop. The 2 over here. Boop, boop. It's gonna get higher. Boop. How high can she go? Boop. And the last one. Boop. Okay, and that is my finished card project. As soon as you tilt it, you see that extra dot embossed pattern in there, which just adds a little something something. But this is just a really simple example of repetition in card design, right? Any image that is similar, you can stamp and repeat. And of course, stencils that are designed to color your images, they just make it faster and easier, and the coordinating dies, well, they don't hurt. You can find links to all of the products I used in today's video in the YouTube description box. I'll also have a blog post with photos and more information also linked in the description. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, I'd love to have you, so please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss the next time I post. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.